welcome to episode 6 of our podcast Running Loose. Thanks for joining us. My name's Francesca Kamani.
And I'm Vanessa Ryle.
And we're delighted to say that this episode is sponsored by Alison Quaid Jewellery. Now, they make all sorts of gorgeous jewellery. They've got a high jewellery collection. They've got bespoke pieces, and you really have to hop onto their website to see everything because it is so beautiful. And today you find us in sunny Newmarket, well, more precisely at Fittock Stud, which actually belongs to my parents. So technically we're kind of at home. And isn't it the most glorious day? It is absolutely stunning. And we're only, a week out? Less than that from the Guineas, 2,000 Guineas, 1,000 Guineas. Well, at the time you hear this, we'll probably be a little bit closer. But Vanessa, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My
Grand
birthday.
Old age of?
Can't announce that. I'm going to start lying about my age now.
Are you there already?
Yeah, it's time.
Okay.
It's time,
okay.
Definitely. So that'll start this year. Excellent. And my birthday was on Friday. We're recording this on Sunday. And I've been in Morocco.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Your pictures, I'm so jealous. You there sunning yourself, getting browner every day. You look great. Ellie, the PET? Eli. Ellie.
Yeah.
I like all credit to Eli because the bikini board looked amazing.
I wanted to put up on my Instagram like bikini by whatever actual brand and body by Eli.
Yeah.
Because, he's really made it. So no, it was a great trip actually. Wild old place down on the coast for what it's worth. Flew into Agadir and then went down the coast to a little tiny town called Merlift. Mm-hmm. And as I was driving in there, the taxi driver was driving in there, I did think, wow, this is rural Morocco. But actually the house was right on the coast. It was just fab. I had, is it called a hammam?
Hammam.
One of those.
Basically like a hot sauna scrub down.
Yes.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh my God.
Did you feel like brand new afterwards?
Yeah, slightly regretted doing it with my mum.
Oh, because you're naked.
Fully naked, and the woman doing the scrub down is also fully naked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, what is it with all these naked people?
There was just a lot of naked people. Yeah, I don't know.
Your mum and your friends, or just?
No, it was just me and my mum. So a bit weird, actually, But it's
like when I went to a sauna. We were skiing in Switzerland with Italian friends, and we went to the sauna thing in Switzerland. And turns out you're not allowed to wear any clothes there. And then my brother was there. And 2 friends I basically kind of grown up with. I was like, oh.
So you're just stripping off in front of everybody?
I think I actually went really like demure English with a little towel around me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Anyway, tangents. Morocco was amazing.
Yes.
Refreshed, recovered, ready to get stuck in again.
Something like that. I actually came back quite refreshed, but then I went on a complete bender last night.
Oh no. And undid all your good work.
It's actually been quite a big few days. On the way to the airport, so we had a big final night in Morocco, Thursday night, woke up Friday. I don't know why I'm admitting all of this stuff. None of this is my finest hour, and it's actually quite unlike me to take the wheels off like this.
But we are called Running Loose after all.
We are, and it was my birthday.
Exactly.
And, we are humans, we like to party. And I went out Thursday night. Anyway, basically on the way to the airport, it did not have my finest hour. It involved a bag and me being sick into the bag.
At least you had a bag.
Yeah. I mean, that was the big thing.
Yeah. Well, you look remarkably okay. I think the tan is kind of hiding a multitude of sins.
Oh, for sure. And this beaming sunshine is just making me feel much more energized.
Yeah, the good news is that you get to look into the sun. Because it turns out we have sides. I actually hadn't realised, but we always sit this way around. Oh, Hi Rufus.
Hi Rufus. Hi darling.
This must be our better profile.
Yeah.
Is that your better side?
I don't know. I think we've just latched into this position, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's all my news. What have you been doing?
Well, so not dissimilar in a way.
Been on a bender?
Normally you have like the more wild existence. I had one wild night on Thursday when I went to London for the Thoroughbred Charity Ball.
Oh yeah.
So I was very kindly invited by George Ward, who's a big investor with Old Gold Racing, who I'm an ambassador for. And it was great, actually. It was a really fun night at Claridge's. Mm-hmm. Lots of people you would know. Matt Chapman hosted it, raised loads of money for charity, for Thoroughbred aftercare charities. I was a auction lot, which I kind of agreed to, having not really thought about it that much. I was like, yeah, sure. And they were like, oh, day at the races with you. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, actually, can we make it easy? Can it be in Yorkshire? They were like, okay, yep, somewhere in Yorkshire.
Quite specific.
Well, there are 9 racecourses in Yorkshire. Take your pick. So then I looked at the kind of auction lots, and it was, a trip for 2 to Miami, to the Pegasus World Cup, business class flights, hotels, tickets to the races, and then trip to Bahrain for the race, trip to New York for some kind of club thing. And I was like, oh my God, thrown in there. It's the day at the races with Francesca. Come on.
In Yorkshire.
In Yorkshire. And the reserve was £25.
You're worth more than that. Even I think you're worth more than that.
Oh, thanks. What would you pay for a day at the races?
What would I pay for a day at the race with Francesca? At least 50.
Oh, well, that's very generous of you.
Double
So I had to go on the stage with the auctioneer to kind of really sell myself.
So what were you doing? Just up there saying like, I'm fun, come racing with me?
Yeah, and I think at one point he said, so day at the races with you and the auction, like, is anything else included? I was like, no.
No, just me.
No. Actually, there was a kind of £100 free bet and a share in a lovely filly called Academia, who actually was raised here. She's a Fittux horse owned by my parents, who's being raced by Old Gold. You know how they do quite a lot of that homebreds being leased for the racing season. So you get a share in her.
Go on then. So how much did you make? Come on, reveal yourself. What is your price?
I made £10,000 for charity.
No.
Yeah.
That is, I actually am really impressed by that.
Well, more than a trip to the Pegasus.
Somebody paid £10,000 to go to a Yorkshire racecourse with Francesca.
Yeah, that's how fun I am. No, basically, it was an excuse to give money to charity, I think. The person who bought it, I think, may not even take up the offer.
Wow, okay. Well, £10,000.
Anyway.
Let us know what you think. Do you think that is Francesca's worth? Do you think she's worth £10,000?
I'm really fun on a day at the races. But that night, so there were a few other fun people going, and then we were like, okay, let's have a pre-drink in the bar at Claridge's. Got there at like 6:30, sat down, had a martini, and we all literally went from here, like quite a kind of normal level, to literally, it was like drinking rocket fuel. We all were completely like hammered after one drink. And then we were going into the entrance to the party, and Sarah Byrne, who is my stylist, and I, there was a photographer there who's like, oh, can I get together for a photo? And so we kind of went to like, you know, put our pose on, and somehow like turned around and smacked our heads together.
Wow.
So the photos basically us going, ow, and like doubled over laughing. So that was the effect of the martinis, which I don't normally drink because they are just pure alcohol.
I'd never have
I'm
a
not
martini.
sure I even really enjoy it, but the effect is quite interesting.
I like the idea of a martini. I like the idea of being the sort of person who can like sip a martini, maybe smoke a Vogue, but I can't do either of those things.
Well, when you grow up, you might.
Yeah.
And then, so after the ball, we went to drinks at the bar at the Dorchester, and then we went somewhere else. By this point, I didn't actually know where I was. And then we went somewhere else, and turns out we were outside a club, and they went, it's last drinks, it's 3:30 in the morning. And we were like, sorry, what?
Wow.
It's 3:30.
God.
So yeah, Friday wasn't hugely productive. Got home, turned around, came here, and here we are.
Here we are. We've made it through another week.
We survived. Right, what are we talking about? We really need to talk about, well, a few things. So shall I take over?
Yeah.
1,000 guineas.
Yeah.
Which actually is the day after the 2,000 guineas, which I think is a bit of a shame because I feel like it gets a bit lost. Anyway, I think it's a two-horse race. Well, it looks like a two-horse race on paper between two fillies that we actually haven't seen yet this year. Lake Victoria for Aidan O'Brien, who looked very, very good last year, and Desert Flower for Charlie Appleby, who won the fillies mile.
Classic. Can't really go wrong with the like Godolphin, Coolmore.
No.
Everyone loves that narrative, you know?
Do they?
I think so.
I think I probably quite like a bit more variety.
Oh, sorry. I'd love a bit more variety, but I think in like a classic like that, when you've got two horses, like you say, up at the top of the market, I feel like people are either very Team Godolphin or Team Coolmore.
True. And actually, thank God for both of them, because if you had real dominance from one of them, a bit boring.
No, obviously we'd love a bit more variety in terms of silks running in these sort of races, but I do think that's just like that classic matchup, isn't it?
So that, in a nutshell, is 1,000 guineas.
Yeah.
Colt's a little bit more open, I think.
Definitely more
Obviously,
open.
Field of Gold rocketed to the head of the market when he won the Craven. He was really impressive. And note from the paddock, we all thought he looked quite fat. We were all like, oh, he'll definitely come on for the race. He doesn't look fully tuned up for today. And he won it really well, so we'll definitely take a step forward.
John Gosden that you thought?
Well, if he watched the telly, he would get a fairly good inkling. Jason and I were both like, look, nice horse, but probably not today.
Oh, really?
But then that's the whole point of a trial, right?
Yeah.
But clearly, despite not looking fully fit, he
was so impressive.
He won really well.
Yeah.
So he'll take a step forward.
But that market in general, with the slight deflections from Team Aidan, with the Lion and Winter, that market was kind of desperate for a horse to jump up and put himself to the forefront.
The one I liked, who I'm not sure will go, is Rashabar, who came second in the Greenham.
Yeah.
Jason told me he was
he's
pretty
so
fat
solid
that day as
he's
well, so
solid.
he'll come forward a lot.
That horse, and yeah, he's just such a solid yardstick. He just runs his race.
Yeah, so I'd like to see him line up. And Scorthy Champ, I've had a few nudges for him.
Joseph, yeah.
Charlie Appleby has got, I think, 2 in it now, Shadow of Light and Ruling Court. We don't necessarily know who's going to ride the second pick because James Doyle is injured. The first ring probably, according to the betting, would be Shadow of Light, but it'd be interesting to see where William Buick chooses to go.
Wide open enough guineas, specifically, as you said, on the colt side.
Yeah.
And then, as always tends to be the way, roll on to the Derby, and we'll be talking about a few different names in the mix as well. But again, I just don't feel like there's an absolute superstar like we had with the City of Troy or Auguste Rodin a few years. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. But that's why it's such an interesting time of year. We are having a little bit of a break on the pod during May to kind of regroup our thoughts before we get really into the good stuff, the Derby, Royal Ascot, etc. But May, so we've already had the Sandown Classic trial. We've had the Epsom one as well. We've got, the Guineas itself is often a good trial to the Derby. After that, Chester. Aidan O'Brien often sends horses over for the Chester trials, Lingfield trials, and then the Dante the week after. So it's a real crucial time for working out who are the most obvious Derby and Oaks contenders. Bit of an ominous sign that Aidan O'Brien won the Sandown one with the first one he sent over.
I know. There could be a bit of that dominance going on, but we're well used to that now.
We are used to that. Although you wonder, don't you, with Galileo, his last crop of running now?
Is that right?
They are, aren't they?
Oh, I think it was last year, wasn't it?
As in, I think they're 3-year-olds. His last crop, I think, are 3-year-olds now.
Yeah.
But without him, obviously they've got a whole load of other really good stallions, but he was such a producer of that brilliant 1.5 horse. So whether they are able to maintain that dominance, we'll see. But I think, again, like a bit of variety, a bit more interest is always good. All right, Rufus?
I'm not sure I need the panting dog and this hangover. It's a bit much, actually.
How's the woolly knit going for you?
It's a lot right now. It's a lot, everyone. No, I'm fine. I'm actually fine. But Rufus can go down for now.
We've had the jump season finale.
Yes, at Sandown.
Had a brilliant narrative, didn't it? Because of the trainer's title.
And you know what? I was so engaged in that title race right up until the end, and I know it was inevitable that Willie Mullins was going to win it when he declared 21 horses or whatever it was. But every ounce of me wanted Dan to win it.
Why? Just because British?
Yeah, British. And I just feel like Dan has hit every marker, like all season long. Week in, week out, his horses, I don't think, have really dipped at any point. And imagine as a trainer, I mean, you know what I'm referring to, keeping horses at that level and they consistently deliver from the start of the season till the end of the season, which is nearly a whole year. It's just, I just think he did such a brilliant job. Obviously we know he's a brilliant trainer, and I just feel like he so deserves his trainers championship, and he is going to get it one day, when basically he'll win the trainers championship when Willie doesn't win the Grand National.
So that's what it was, because coming into Cheltenham, Dan was miles ahead, wasn't he?
And there's articles in the Post about him sort of
having it all sewn up.
Yeah, I mean, he never said that. Obviously, he never said that. And he knew that the fight was going to be right on all the way through. But I think a lot of people thought that he wouldn't be caught. And then Willie had the 4 Grade 1 winners on the first day of Aintree. Was it 4 Grade 1s or the first 4 races? And then won, of course, the National itself.
And a few placings as well.
And all those placings. And that was when poor Dan must have just gone home and just thought...
But then in the interim between then and Sandown, he was kind of going everywhere, winning as much as he could, notching up bits of prize money.
Like 70 grand ahead in that gap again.
By the last day.
I was kind of thinking, he could do this.
I know. And the irony is that the most valuable race on the day that Willie sent, 10 for?
Yeah.
He didn't even win.
No.
But he had two other big winners on the day that helped secure the title.
Yeah.
So
well done
him.
Yeah, I felt sorry for Dan. But he will win his trainers championship, won't he?
He will, definitely, at some stage. But the irony of not even being able to win it in your own country and Willie Mullins winning it from Ireland, I mean, it's mental, isn't it?
Are you still relatively engaged in jump racing, or are you over it altogether?
Well, I am, but it's funny because this time of the year, you feel like you kind of get to the Grand National and you've already had the Lincoln at Doncaster, and you're like, okay, right, we'll just switch our attention back to the flat jumps for a little bit. And then you think, okay, right now it's time to focus on the flat. And then you get this kind of like long tail to the jump season obviously it's grabbed so many headlines because of the trainers' title race going down to the Saturday before the Guineas. But then also you've now got Constitution Hill going to run at Punchestown, which is the
huge.
same week as the Guineas. And it's like, I kind of feel we need to switch the attention. Of course, that's from a point of view of someone who does prefer the flat. But the Guineas, I think, has suffered a little bit, partly because of the long tail of the jump season. Not that that's really a new thing, but also because we get so fewer horses having prep races leading into the Guineas.
It's become very unfashionable, hasn't it?
Well, it has, and thank God for Field of Gold, who won the Craven, because he's ignited a bit of interest in it. But I was actually chatting to Angus Gold about it last night. He said, back in the day, they'd all would have had a prep run of sorts. You'd have seen them at some stage that year going into the Guineas. There was a lot more interest and excitement.
Do you think that is trainers' fashion? Campaigning I just feel like they go in waves. You know,
and obviously Aidan O'Brien has had a great success rate of taking horses to the Guineas first up and winning. So everyone then thinks, oh, is that what we should be doing?
Yeah. Oh God, look, there's horses just cruising around out here.
Yeah.
Is that a ha-ha?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ha-ha. Love a ha-ha.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're called ha-has?
I don't know.
I have a theory about this.
Go on.
Well, because it's basically like a kind of infinity garden, right?
It's brilliant because that horse looks like it's in your garden.
So there's no fence. So my theory is that in the old days, well, not in the old days, but when the term was invented, people would just like run to the end of the garden and not know it was there and just fall off. And then you go,
and that's
ha-ha.
Well,
that's my theory.
It's called
why is it called a ha-ha?
Francesca, that's
why
not why.
Why is it called a ha-ha?
We'll look it up, but that is, I would have my mortgage on it.
Well,
that is not why.
I mean, who says Google's right? That is my theory.
Okay.
What's your theory?
Well,
you
not
don't know.
that bullshit theory.
Of course it is.
Okay, well, we'll look that up.
Yeah, I have a ha-ha at my house, and it's so nice kind of having the horse.
It's great. I love it.
Impressive as this one. Yeah. Can we go back to your team chasing horse?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so a bit of an update on that. I know the team chasing has become a bit of a theme. I feel like we're talking about it quite a lot, but now I've sort of taken it upon myself to put it out there that I, might be in the market for a new team chasing horse. And I was down at Paul Nichols's and I mentioned it to him. And he said, this lad might be for you, as a horse came in the schooling ring that we were filming. Yeah. And it was a horse called Captain Matan.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Olive rode it around the Fox Hunters last year.
Oh, perfect.
So lovely.
Safe.
10-year-old, looking for a new job, owned by the Stewart family. Mm-hmm. And, I think,
that's great. Well, he's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it seems that way, yeah.
Oh,
he rang me. I was on, I know, Bob the Cob's out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, Paul actually rang me and I was on holiday and I was on a sun lounger and I looked down, I didn't have his number saved. So I saw the number calling and I was like, I'm not going to answer that. And then it comes up maybe Paul Nichols because it was obviously linked to my WhatsApp or whatever. And then I was like, hello. And he said, I think he spoke to the Stewarts and he said, Captain Maton's yours at the end of the season if you want him.
That's amazing.
So you might run Cheltenham for the Hunter Chase evening or Stratford for the Hunter Chase there. And so, hopefully he can retire happy and sound and he'll come and spend time with me in Culworth.
That's great.
So I'm very excited about it. Yeah, I think my friend Minna will probably do a lot of the riding because I do have a horse already. But yeah, it'd be great. And do you know what? I've always thought, I know I've got Bob the Cob now, but I've always thought after Bob the Cob, I'll have an ROR horse. I'll really enjoy that. And it's something that I think that, you're the same, quite passionate about the aftercare, et cetera, and just showing their versatility. I mean, I'm hopeful that he is going to be versatile and retrainable, but I think he seems the sort that will be. Yeah,
and I think having the trainer hand select them.
And Paul, to be fair, the horse came in the schooling ring. He was having a jump before he ran the other day. And straight away, he was like, this horse would be good for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's a big lad.
He's done the Fox Hunters with Olive. That's ideal.
Cool, right?
Oh, that's so exciting. Have you got some questions?
I've got questions. I thought I was doing that bit.
Yeah, no.
Oh, right, sorry. Right, we started. We've got questions everyone. I'm not
What did you want to introduce questions?
Yeah.
Okay, go on, you go.
Okay, thanks. Right, it's question time.
Nicely done.
Thanks. Right. Okay. I'm going to rattle some of these off for you. What was your biggest fashion blunder on air?
I never made one.
I don't make one.
No, well, I have my super stylist, so I'm very lucky.
Okay.
Although once she did dress me, I think it was Champions Day a few years ago, and it was a kind of all purple ensemble, and I looked a bit like, what's the one from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Willy Wonka himself.
No, well, yeah, probably a bit like Willy Wonka, but what's the obnoxious girl called? Well, I just looked like a kind of giant blueberry, all in various shades
God,
of
what
purple.
is her name? That'll drive me mad. But yes,
Veronica.
Veronica, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
So that
okay,
was
so that was bad.
but I can't actually say I've had fashion disasters because I'll offend Sarah.
No, well that's fair. But pre-Sarah, any fashion faux pas?
Oh yeah, a few. Not actually. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of a yellow dress that I wore for a photo shoot. So that actually wasn't a race day thing in Australia.
And you look dreadful.
I look dreadful. I had a kind of folded, crisp pink napkin on my head.
Yeah.
But I was really young, and I kind of got there. And they were like, oh, we want to take a photo for the front page of the Herald Sun. I was like, oh, okay, great. And I probably got there straight from doing the horses, stinking of the horse poo, and had feed kind of under my fingernails. And then they dress you up and they take photos and tell you you look great. And you go, oh, great. Of course I do.
To be fair, we have all been there. Did I not tell you about the time that I had my hair and makeup done for Betfred and we did some headshots and I just look horrendous. And they got used for approximately 2 years.
But wait, so you had it all done?
Yeah.
But then did you not say, I don't like it?
No.
No, but you're just really English about it. And you
so
went,
British. It's so British just to sit there and be like, oh, great, I don't look like a dickhead. It was not a good look. In terms of fashion blunders on air, I don't know, for me, if I've really had, because, I'm always in a coat and I'm always at Newcastle, so it's kind of, do you know what I mean? It's less risky.
There's still time.
There's loads of time. What about how do you relax before a big race day? How do you relax?
I don't. Relax. It's the opposite. Like, who's relaxing before a big race day? No, you're like prepping, studying, traveling, meeting with the teams, reading any information you can get, hair and makeup. No, there's no relaxing.
There's no relaxing.
Should do, but
do you know what I do, which is a little known fact about me, which I don't think I've ever actually admitted to anyone sort of outwardly, is I have some anxiety putty.
Do you?
Yeah. And so it's like stress putty, and I keep it in the bag that has all my earpiece and everything in, all my bits and pieces for a day on air. And when I get to the racetrack, I get out the anxiety putty and give it a little squeeze.
You don't come across as someone who gets nervous.
I'm never nervous and I don't have anxiety.
So?
But I just really like the putty. Is
that like the stuff you used to have like as a kid, silly putty, and you can like make it do puppy
Yeah,
things.
And you just sort of squeeze it. I mean, look, maybe I have a low level sense of anxiety, but that's normally due to my life choices rather than...
Didn't you tell me that when you first did your first day on air or something?
Oh my God. What
happened?
Well, it did happen, but my first day on air, I will never forget it because it was all I'd been working towards and all I wanted to do. And then I got given the opportunity by Sky to go live on air at Newcastle. And I remember the night before and the morning of actively thinking, right, how can I crash my car enough that I'm not going to hurt myself, but still enough that I can't get to the races?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That
honestly, it was
thought.
a real thought. And I just was like, I will not be able to do this. I just had no belief that I was ready. And it's so bizarre in hindsight because, of course, they put me on air because I was ready. They're not, Sky, they're not idiots.
Yeah.
And I'd done loads of pre-recorded stuff. And of course, your first day on air, it was all pre-records, my intro, even the interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
You had to do obviously some live chatting, but limited. They really looked after me, obviously. But yeah, that's the most nervous I've ever been. I don't really get nervous.
Crushed it anyway. People, I think, automatically assume that if you do telly, then you're also fine doing kind of public speaking or emceeing events and stuff. Do you?
I get such a kick out of public speaking. I actually want to do more of it.
Well done you, because I actually hate it.
Oh, really? I love it.
Do you?
I love making everyone laugh, then the room laughs, and I'm like, yes, I love it. I'm doing someone's best man speech.
Are you?
I'm thrilled. I'll also do eulogies. I'll do anything.
Available for hire.
Yeah.
You could become a wedding celebrant, like a
I'd love
host.
to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
emceeing anybody's wedding, I'll do it. Honestly, love it. Get such a kick. All joking aside, I get a real kick out of it. When it's gone well and you can feel the vibe from the room and it's live, right in front of you. And when you just get a good flow going.
I feel like this is leading to a potential stand-up comedy show. Would you do that?
I'm not funny enough.
You are quite funny,
or
annoyingly. You're funnier than me. All my friends message me saying, "Oh, Vanessa sounds great. I want to go to the pub with her." I'm like, no, you're my friend. Don't do that.
Well, all my friends want to meet you. So
oh, really?
Fine.
Oh, no, you're just saying that.
No, I'm not. There's a lot of Francesca chat. Yeah.
Well, how long before we start doing live
That'll
audience
happen.
podcasts?
That'll happen.
Have you started thinking about Royal Ascot? Because it's only about 7 weeks away. Can you believe that?
Well, how sad is this, right? I just have this really predictable style, so much so that a friend of mine was literally sending me screenshots of things I could wear for Royal Ascot, and it was all things that I would pick out. But it's so predictable, it actually made me think, right, that's how boring my fashion is.
You need to change it up.
For Royal Ascot, I'm going to mix it up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you thought what yet? Or how?
No. I'll probably leave that until about 2 weeks before and then panic buy. I think I told you that for Cheltenham as well.
You obviously have a few restrictions, right? You've got to have your shoulders covered. It can't be
a real toxic trait of mine.
You've got to have the hat. What?
Doing that panic buying thing.
Well, I think everybody's for the same.
It's just so annoying. Royal Ascot, it comes around every year. I know that I'm going to be there for 5 days every year. I know how I have to be dressed, and yet I leave it until about 10 days before and then just panic buy. Hence why I probably end up in all the same style of stuff, and then panic contact my milliner, and then she makes it all work, in fairness.
Any go-to brands?
For
dresses.
Outfits. Oh God, no. Anything and everything. I live on the Outnet.
Oh yeah.
I love that, and that's got all those quite high end.
Yeah.
And you can always find something on there.
Would you wear the same dress twice?
As in from
Would
last
you recycle?
year to recycle?
Well, or from a few years ago? Or...
I definitely recycle. Yeah, definitely. If Kate Middleton can recycle, I can recycle. No?
Yeah,
you wouldn't,
definitely.
would you? You're
I
not
know, I would. Oh, yeah,
do you
definitely.
even do any recycling at home?
I am like the greenest person you'll ever come across.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. Do you want to, I'll tell you something that'll really shock you.
Go on.
Tell you the extent of our greenness.
Well, nothing's going to shock me, by the way, more than you thinking that a ha-ha is called a ha-ha because people drop off the end.
Well, it is.
Right?
I'm sure I'm right about that one.
Go on.
We share bathwater.
Interesting.
Yeah. Max and I love a bath at night. Obviously, I try and make sure I'm in first.
Yeah.
But we both have the same bath.
I would not be averse to that with a partner.
There we go.
No, I wouldn't. That's okay, I think.
We never throw things away from the fridge. We have a compost bin where all our kind of, peelings and cuttings go.
Good effort.
We recycle everything. So yes, I am super green.
Okay, interesting. I'm not really.
Ah, see?
I mean, I am. Obviously, I care for the environment. Obviously.
Ish.
I should have asked you about Royal Ascot.
Royal Ascot planning. So I am basically spoilt, whereby I don't have to think about it because I have Sarah who does all that for me. But in terms of outfits.
Imagine that luxury.
I know, it's so nice.
Getting to that stage in your life where you just don't even have to worry.
It is very nice,
What
actually.
time to be alive.
It is very nice. I am very spoilt. And actually, a bit like you said, I think it'd be quite fun to have a real mix-up of the look. Because probably people would become a bit, you could probably, put into a box the kind of things that I would wear. So I think it is a bit of a time to really mix things up. Not sure how or what, and I haven't told her that
yet. She's only finding that out as she listens to this show, but okay.
Exactly. But do you know what I will be wearing?
Yeah.
I'll be wearing this.
Oh, yeah, I noticed this. What is that?
So this is a gorgeous Royal Ascot badge holder. Have you ever seen something like that before?
Never seen anything like that before, and it's very specific to Royal Ascot. And then you have that all week, obviously.
Yeah.
Great.
And they very kindly gave it to me to wear last year.
Who did?
At Royal Ascot. Alison Quaid, the jeweller.
Wonder if they'll give me one for this year.
Proper hint. But everyone on my team was really like, wow, where'd you get that from? I want one of those.
It's very smart.
It's very smart, isn't it?
It's very smart. Yeah, it's a lovely gift for somebody. That would be a
very
great
nice gift. Men, women, I think you can wear that as a man. It has got little sparkly diamantes.
Hey.
Maybe they should do a plain one.
Don't stereotype men, Francesca. They love diamantes.
Oh, my husband would totally wear one of those.
Oh, yeah. No, that is a really cool, A, it's a cool thing to have because you have it for life.
Exactly.
And B, it would be a great gift.
Really good gift.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like it. Well done then. So
they
you
never
have that
asked
for this year, yeah?
Well, they never asked for it back. I'm like,
well, they will now.
Listen
to the pod and they'll be like, God, we never got that back.
So that's the only thing that I know I'm wearing for Royal Ascot this year.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Which actress would you like to play yourself in a film?
As in, who would look like me?
Well, I don't know, because, yeah, go on.
The only person I've had as a kind of...
doppelganger?
Yeah, is Keira Knightley, which I'm not sure.
Oh, I can see that.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. She's also really hot, so well done. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, she's very hot.
Who would
I
yours
would
be?
like Kate Winslet to play me in a film.
Kate Winslet?
Yeah.
Not because she looks like you.
No, she doesn't look like me, no.
So why Kate Winslet?
Because...
She's a very good actress.
She's a very good actress. I know her a little bit. She married a friend
Oh,
of
hello.
mine.
Hang on, let me just pick that name up off the floor for you.
She married a family friend. Yeah.
Ned Rock and Roller. Rock and Roll.
Ned Rock and Roll is his name. And also she has size 9 feet. But that's a surprise.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
But she's not very tall.
Nope. Flippers. No, she doesn't have flippers for feet.
Yours
but
are
she,
in proportion, but really,
yeah, she does have size 9
9
feet because when I first met her,
Bet she never falls over.
Ago, years and years and years ago, she was we bonded over the fact that she has size 9 feet. Yeah. Do you want one more question, or do you want to do that?
Go on. Since it's our last one, let's make it a long one.
Last question.
Where were you last night?
I was.
Another question.
I will tell you. Last night I was at the Silver Spur after party, which was in a tent in a field, which is where all the best parties happen. And it was also embarrassingly a hoedown.
A hoedown?
It was a cowboy themed party.
Oh wow!
Not
Did you do some line dancing?
Maybe I did do some line dancing.
Oh.
I also didn't dress up. I hate fancy dress. Sorry, I've got
what?
distracted here, but I actually hate fancy dress.
I quite like a bit of fancy dress.
What would be your perfect day away from horses? I like that question.
Oh.
What would be your perfect day away?
Oh, you go, because I'm still thinking. What would yours be?
My perfect day away from, and it's specifics, it's away from horses. So my perfect day would be a day at home with dogs and horses. But if I was to really get rid of the horses, a perfect day would be still a day at home, actually.
Really?
I love my home. Yeah, my home is tiny, but because I'm not there enough, I really enjoy being there.
Easy to please.
Yeah, I got a garden done like a patio area done last year. And I had a few days in the summer where I just sat out in my own garden, my little house.
So on your own, with your dogs?
Totally on my own.
Day at home.
I'm actually super social, but I love being on my own.
So my perfect day away from the horses, I think would have to be by the seaside. Just love the sea, just love getting in the sea, love the kind of health benefits of like being in the sea. You come out, you feel great, refreshed.
You come out like a Bond girl.
In my head.
I actually think it's really hard to exit the sea.
Yeah, really hard.
Yeah,
soft sand, waves.
Horrendous, actually.
Yeah, really hard. Went to the Yorkshire coast the other day. Lovely.
Well,
nice.
I'm actually walking that for charity.
Are you doing that?
Yes.
My mum sent to me, be like, I'll look after the kids if you want to do this walk.
Racing welfare.
22k.
22, yeah.
But they said it takes an average of 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah,
which
you start,
got me
This
panicking
is a
a bit.
racing welfare charity walk, and I'm going to do it with some friends, actually, 3 girlfriends. They're up for it.
Yeah.
And it's, I can't remember where it is, but it's around Whitby, isn't it?
Yeah. Coastal walk around.
It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. And it's right up my street, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because we were wondering, I said to Max, I was like, do we have to raise money for it? But no, I think you literally just pay your entry fee.
And then it's just a big group of people. So
yeah, that'd be fun. Should I try and do it too?
Do.
I need a few sessions with Eli. I'm so unfair.
Really walking, for fuck's sake.
I know, but my knees will start hurting.
Stop.
Like, yeah.
No.
To be fair, if I don't have to carry a child, that'll be an advantage.
You'd be flying along. Okay, right. I'm going to Google the ha-ha situation.
No, I'm telling you, I think I'm right. Ha-ha, because you fall off the end and you laugh. I mean, it should be.
I think that is right.
That.
Okay,
come
here
on,
we go.
Google it. Google knows everything. Come on.
AI overview. I'm going to have to eat my words.
What does it say?
It's so embarrassing.
What does it say?
The name ha-ha is thought to derive from the explanation of surprise or ha-ha that people might make upon realising the wall and ditch are there.
Ha-ha. I am right yet again.
God, I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's good though, isn't it? It's onomatopoeic, isn't it?
What does that mean?
It sounds like what it is.
Oh, very good.
Like if something's kind of squidgy, like your anxiety putty sounds like what it is.
Got you. I am shocked about that. I am actually really shocked.
Won't doubt me again though, will you?
Disaster.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of topics in the sunshine in our last episode.
Yeah, as
and you've done remarkably well, seeing as you didn't sleep last night. You've done well. I'd hate to see you like on kind of full, fresh form because this is impressive. And we are going on a little
probably still drunk
podcast break.
Yes, we are.
But I'm going to miss this.
I'm going to miss our little catch-ups. I think we'll still
too.
catch up. I'll still drop you the odd voice note.
The odd one.
Which is actually like, anybody who knows me knows that my voice notes are kind of like podcasts. Do you know another toxic trait of mine is, last point,
What?
is I send a voice message and then I love listening to it back because that's how I'm obsessed with my own voice.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
What did I ask you once? Do you ever watch yourself back and you said something, what did you say? Something like, I do because I thought I looked really good that day.
I do when I look good. Correct.
Right, this is a long-winded way of wrapping up episode
Sorry.
6. I've really enjoyed it. Hope
Loved
you have
it.
too. We are going to relaunch kind of end of May time
Yeah.
with a fresh new look. I say new look. We're going to improve a few things. Clean its face, at least.
Correct. Important.
Look forward to the Derby, the Oaks, all things Epsom, followed by Royal Ascot, hot on its heels, and then we've got a whole summer long of really brilliant racing. Rufus.
One last time.
Rufus comes in for the cuddle, just to round off episode 6. Thanks, Vanessa, for making the effort.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've survived. I've
Well
survived.
done.
Thank you.
Well, you can go
Thank
and fall in a hole now.
Yeah. No, it's been great fun. Great fun.
We hoped to find out if you guys were keen on the Running Loose podcast, and I think hopefully the feedback has been good so far. Thanks everyone for listening. Give us a bit more feedback. We're going to tweak a few things, get some sponsorship, and come back bigger and better.
Bigger and better.